Let's get some more details on the economic news around today, and for that we're joined by Simon Mariner from St George, live in Sydney. Simon, the Fed met overnight. Run us through what the key takings, or what your key takings are from its statement.
Certainly, Federal Reserve overnight leaving benchmark interest rates unchanged, as expected. Interesting, they did comment on the fact that they were going to slow down the pace of purchasing as they wind up their $300 billion program to buy back US debt. But in all, some comments sort of showing signs that they see tentative signs of economic stability coming from the US.
OK, how soon do you think it'll be until the Fed start taking back rates?
Probably a little bit too early to talk about them taking back or hiking rates in the near term. Financial markets only attaching around a 20% likelihood that we'll see a rate hike from them by the end of the year, so perhaps more likely to see that happening towards the end of next year. But certainly the upbeat rhetoric and optimism did help to push US share markets higher on the day or overnight.
OK, run us through the movements on the Australian share market today so far.
Yeah, the local bourse doing very well today, perhaps following the lead from offshore markets. The four major banks, financial stocks up higher, all the four majors up over 2% today. As you've probably heard, also Telstra reporting a net profit of $4.1 billion, that's up 10%. So we should see the ASX top 200 finish around 78 points higher, about 1.8% on the day.
OK, and the Australian dollar, what's it done in trade today so far?
Been moving around quite a lot lately. Yesterday we saw a 200-point range, or a 2-cent range in the Aussie dollar, which is quite a big move. But with this upbeat optimism and rhetoric coming out of the US, we've started to see a little bit more of the general embracing of risk, or an improved risk appetite. The Aussie dollar, traditionally a barometer for risk appetites, we've seen that move higher. Also tends to track commodities quite nicely. Oil overnight, of course, up to $70.60 a barrel. And lastly, we've got to consider the fact that perhaps our central bank will be the first to start hiking rates. What that means is we'll see a widening of interest rates, or a widening of the differential in interest rates between us and the US, which will further support the Aussie dollar, currently trading around 83.5 US cents. OK, consumer inflation data released today. Is inflation going to be another thing that the RBA needs to keep an eye on? Yes, certainly that came out, and inflation expectations have been trending higher. We saw consumers a little bit more secure about their jobs. Unemployment expectations falling for the 6th month in a row, which is good. Yesterday we saw wage price inflation, or wage price data, down just slightly over the whole year, but certainly the RBA will keep a close eye on that when they're looking to make some decisions on what and when they might do something with monetary policy. OK, final thing, what are you looking out for in terms of the data front for the rest of the week? Well, we've just got tomorrow to go, and we'll hear testimony, semi-annual testimony from the governor of our central bank. It's unlikely that he's going to say anything too different from the statement on monetary policy that was released last week, which was, of course, their quarterly statement. But we will see the traditional Q&A session that does follow his address. So that could be quite interesting, and certainly one to keep your eyes open for. OK, appreciate that. Simon Mariner, St George, thank you. Thank you.